Michael Saylor, the executive chairman of MicroStrategy, has recently shared a highly optimistic outlook on Bitcoin, predicting that its value could reach extraordinary heights in the coming years. He believes that Bitcoin's market cap could eventually soar to $280 trillion, driven by the macroeconomic environment and Bitcoin's unique characteristics as a scarce and decentralized asset. Saylor emphasized that Bitcoin is poised to outperform all other asset classes over the long term, and he strongly advocates for continuous accumulation, regardless of short-term price fluctuations. Listen to what he said and make sure to leave a like and subscribe to this channel.
The 10%er strategy for the US would be to buy 500,000 Bitcoin. The BTC, the maxi strategy is they should buy 1 million. The double maxi strategy is they should buy 2 million. And the triple max strategy for the US is they ought to buy 4 million Bitcoin over the next 4 years. They would have like 18% of the supply. And if they did that, they retire the debt and they flip to a massive surplus. And my precedent is, like, the secret to success as a nation state is you have defensible, productive property. And so the reason that the British Empire rose is they had an island and it was hard to invade it. Nobody got to it after 1066. And on that island, they industrialized. And then they got the colonies, and that was defensible, productive land. And then the reason the U.S. rose to power is the United States is defended by the Pacific on one side, the Atlantic on the other side, frozen tundra to the north, a desert to the south, defensible, productive. And what we do? Well, we bought Louisiana Territory. Jefferson did it for $15 million, and he bought 27% of the land mass. Seward bought Alaska, $7 million. The United States federal government owns 28% of the land. In the U.S., we own, 18% of the gold or something. So scarce, desirable property, but buy productive property that you can defend. And so if hundreds of trillions of dollars are migrating to cyberspace, right, my view is Bitcoin's going to demonetize Siberian real estate and Chinese real estate and everything in Africa. And why would you want to own bonds of a South American company? Why would you want to own anything other than Bitcoin? So as the capital flows, you're going to see hundreds of trillions of dollars there. So if you're the United States, what are you worried about? Losing your world reserve currency status. Where's the money going to go? To Bitcoin. How do you hedge that? Just go to where everybody's going and buy 20% of it, and then when they get there, you'll be fine. Where else are you going to go, right? For example, if you're going to sell the dollar, right, you're not selling the dollar for the peso, the lira, the euro. Nobody wants any of that. So when you sell the dollar, you're going to buy Siberian real estate? No, you're going to buy Bitcoin. What's the second best? You're going to buy nothing second best.
There is no second best.
Right? So the point is, you want a country to be capitalized on a firm foundation. The foundation is productive property that no one can take away from you. And Bitcoin's beautiful. It is productive because the AIs are going to want to move $10 billion from, here to there every hour. They're not going to move $10 billion of buildings or silver, right? Or dollars. Lord knows they can't get a bank account, right? So everybody's going to want the capital. If you want a company, a family, a country to last and prosper, like how good would your family be if you owned 100 acres in the middle of Manhattan? Like, how would you like to own 1,000 square miles in Texas? Right? Something, right? Own something productive for a long time. The catch is you don't want them to take it away from you. You don't want them to tax it, and you don't want them to steal it from you. And the beauty of Bitcoin is any country puts their money in cyberspace, nobody can steal it, nobody else can tax it. So even though it's brilliant for the US, it's even a better idea for Switzerland or in Norway or for Turkey, because there's no point in invading your country to take your stuff if all your stuff is in cyberspace. So I'm a big believer. I think it's good for the network. I think it decentralizes us further. I mean, it'll be source of a lot of interesting debates and dialogue. But if you believe if you want to help the U.S., then give them productive digital capital, and anybody else you want to help, give them the same advice. And if you hate somebody, if you hate someone, tell them to sell their Bitcoin and don't buy it. Right? That's the worst you can do to anybody, encourage them to not Bitcoin, because that's like encouraging the Russians to sell Alaska. It's like Napoleon sold a third of America for 15 million bucks, blew it on bullets and blankets in the Napoleonic War. We still have a third of the United States, so who got the better trade?
Bitcoin is beautiful, and we should all stack as much as possible.
Stay humble, stack sats.
Let's go.